Betrayal of Shadows and Flame. A tale of deception, resilience, and transformation. Three adventurers, drawn into a web of illusions and peril, face trials that test their strength, wisdom, and courage. As they navigate a world where reality bends and nothing is as it seems, they uncover a truth far more complex than they imagined. Armed with powerful relics and a purpose yet to be fully understood, they step into the unknown, knowing that their true trial has only just begun. Chapter 1: An Old Woman's Burden. The town of Briar's Hollow lay nestled in a valley, hemmed in by thick pine forests and the shadowed slopes of the Broken Ridge Mountains. The cobbled streets were worn smooth by countless years of merchants, farmers, and wanderers, all moving in the slow rhythm of life in the borderlands. Smoke curled from chimneys, and the scent of roasting meats and fresh bread wove through the air like a comforting embrace. At the heart of the town, its beating pulse, stood the Gilded Acorn, a tavern of old oak and warm lantern light. Inside, the Gilded Acorn bustled with life. Labours and traders filled the long tables, tankards in hand, voices rising in merriment and debate. The scent of spiced cider mingled with the tang of roasted venison, and a bard in the corner plucked out a lively tune on his lute. The heavy beams of the tavern bore witness to countless stories, yet none were as pressing as the one carried by the small figure seated in the dimmest corner of the room. She was a tiny thing, wrapped in a thick cloak of faded green, her fingers gnarled by time and toil. Wisps of silver hair framed a face lined with age, yet her eyes, sharp and glinting like polished stones, roamed the room with measured intent. No one paid her much mind, just another elder seeking warmth and rest, another soul lost in the shuffle of a busy evening. Her name was Elder Fenroot, and she had a problem. Her hands, trembling only slightly, wrapped around a steaming cup of chamomile tea, her thoughts swirling faster than the rising steam. There had been whispers in the night, things moving in the woods beyond the hollow, where only silence should reign. Cattle found with their throats torn, as if by claws too large for any wolf in these parts. Strange lights flickering along the old watchtower ruin. And worst of all, the feeling, deep in her bones, that something long forgotten was stirring once more. She had tried to speak of it to the village elders earlier that day, standing in the drafty meeting hall beneath the council's ancient wooden crest. "You worry too much, Elder," Elder Harwin Reed had scoffed, arms crossed over his broad chest. "Wolves have been a problem for generations. Some seasons worse than others. This is no different. Aye, and bandits are always looking for ways to scare folk into keeping quiet," Osric Vane added, his thin lips curling in amusement. "Superstitions only give them more power." "Superstition? Is that what you think?" Elder had countered, her voice sharp despite her years. "When have wolves left a carcass without a scrap of flesh missing? When have bandits slit a cow's throat and left behind silver scorch marks in the dirt?" Myrna Hale had at least paused at that, rubbing her chin thoughtfully. "I have heard of those lights," she admitted. "Some of the foragers have, too. They say they flicker in unnatural hues." "If there was real danger, we'd know," Harwin grumbled. "And we don't. So let's not go stirring up the town with ghost stories." Elder had left, defeated, though she caught Elder Jory Fennick muttering prayers under his breath as she passed. He believed her, she knew, but fear held his tongue. Now, as she sat in the warmth of the tavern, watching the firelight dance against the old wooden beams, she felt a chill that had nothing to do with the winter air. She needed help, and the town would not provide it. Outsiders, travelers, those without the baggage of familiarity, would be her only hope. They would come, eventually. She just had to hold on until they did. The Gilded Acorn rang with laughter and song, but Elder Fenroot sat in silence, watching, waiting. Somewhere out there, help was coming. She just had to hold on until they arrived.